Another fun CAA game. Really excited for the guys to, with the quick turnaround after Saturday to put together what I thought was probably one of our most consistent efforts from start to finish. A little disappointed in the fourth quarter, but I thought coming out aggressive and then being able to kind of control the tempo and then being disciplined on the defensive end and getting good opportunities offensively was probably one of our better, probably honestly our best showing offensively and defensively that we've had this year, and then really giving us something to build on, and being able to earn a good tough win in the CAA against obviously a strong team like Hofstra.
Shawn, have you noticed anything different in this team since Saturday when you guys beat Fairfield?
There's a little bit, I don't want to say a chip, but the guys are playing definitely with a little bit more urgency and focus, but poise, in that. So it's good to see them recognize, where we are in the season and understand the moment that we're in the game, and putting a really strong effort in. I thought our seniors have done a great job leading the way there. Guys, captains like Jake McLean and Carson Gager. Brody had a really strong day today, so that's indicative of him. And putting his. He's not the most vocal or flamboyant guy, but he did his talking with his play today. So Ryan Swain, making good plays in the middle of the field. So definitely a little bit more urgency and controlled aggression in how we've been practicing and playing.
Through the first three quarters, Hofstra only scored four goals. Is this the kind of defensive effort that you anticipated and need, for the rest of the season?
Our mindset's every possession we have to play defense is we're focused on making a stop. So if we do give up a goal, obviously we're not happy about that. So yes, I think the effort is where we like it to be. I thought we were fairly disciplined, with our system, a little careless at times with, some of the penalties, things like that. But I thought overall defensively it was pretty sound and consistent with what we wanted to do. Shane definitely had a strong performance, for us, which covered up some of our mistakes. So that helps definitely. But we'd like to keep this going forward. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, when Shane makes 14 saves behind his defense, how much stronger does that make this defense?
Well, it's we're giving up shots, so it's kind of false confidence a little bit there. So that's something that we got to identify. And like I said, I think quite a few of those we were able to challenge. He definitely stole some, but he was on it. He was definitely on it today, and especially the one at the end. When they got a clean look off the right pipe. Punching that save and being poised in that scenario was awesome for him. And then obviously our defense, plays a little bit tougher behind it, but we got to understand how we need to be better in front of him to maybe not allow as many opportunities and just be a little bit sharper.
Offensively, it seemed like you guys were methodical yet opportunistic. Is that sort of the formula that you're looking for from this offense?
Yeah, we're not going to be a run and gun team. We're not going to be, hey, let's get over the midline and go right away and see how it plays out. I think our guys are really starting to understand what's expected of them individually as well as a team offensive unit, and working different midfield lineups, run different things. So recognizing our strengths, being able to play to those, and how we can exploit the defense is something we want to do. And, we know that we, as an offense, all six of them have to be working together and do their part to make it work. So it was good to see our guys play much more engaged and selfless. I would have liked to see us shoot a little bit better. I thought we had some really nice opportunities that we didn't bury. Their goalie played, pretty well, made some nice saves as well. But I definitely think overall we left some plays on the field, whether it be, some shots we could have canned, some ground ball play, we could have been cleaner on, things like that I think would have helped us be a little bit more in control.
I'm going to assume you're not looking ahead or thinking about standings, but now with this win, you guys are only one game behind for the fourth and final spot in the CAA tournament. Is that how significant is that?
Didn't know that until you told me. So, for us, we can't think about that. We got to put together a strong effort every game, and then now we're, recognizing how we put that together today, understanding what it looked like in practice and in our preparation to carry that forward into tomorrow. Knowing that we have get to travel up to UMass and play a very hungry UMass team, which has always been an awesome battle between us and them. So they're going to be hungry for a win. I think they've dropped their last two, and obviously we want to keep momentum going on our side, and then we're going to have to really earn it. Going up there, playing at their place against a very very dangerous team. So we've always been you play them, and you win enough of them, you put yourself in position to move on, and we just are taking it one day at a time and one game at a time.
Shane, defensively, you guys only gave 4 goals for the first 3 quarters. Is that the kind of effort that you and your teammates on the defensive end are expecting yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Grossi says, and a lot of us agree with, 4 goals in 3 quarters is 4 too many. I mean, they're a solid team. They're gonna get goals. Any teams you play, there's gonna be goals scored. But it's just about the next one. Just about making the next play, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we look to let in as least as possible every time.
I don't know if you heard, but Shawn said this is probably the most consistent effort that this team has put forward this season, both on offense and defense. And I'm curious, do you feel the same way? Do you feel like this is the team's best game of the season?
Yeah, I agree 100%. If you look back at most of our games over the last before Fairfield, I think there was like 4 or 5 games in a row. I think 4 games in a row where we had at least a 2-goal lead in the fourth quarter, and every single time we ended up giving up too many goals and we lost the game. Those were fixed during practice, and we worked on them consistently, kind of engraved into our minds, making the next play, which is where we kind of found ourselves in a similar situation this game with 4 goals in the fourth quarter. We were kind of going down the same path that we have before, but with repetitions over practice and with film and just trying to make that next play, it paid off. And we ended up getting the stop at the end to kind of get it to our offense and solidify the game. But overall, it was definitely the best effort that our teams put forward and the most complete game for sure. We got to keep building on it, though.
I was going to ask, knowing that this was your best game, how much confidence does that instill in you and your teammates?
A lot. Any win, no matter who it's against, gives the team confidence, especially if you get a couple in a row. So beat Fairfield a couple of days ago and then beating Hofstra today definitely gives you some confidence rolling into a team away. I don't know exactly how far away the drive is to UMass, but we got to head up there, and heading there with a 2-game win streak rather than a 2-game losing streak definitely gives you a lot more confidence than if it was the opposite. So it gives you a lot for sure.
Shane, you had 14 saves today, and Shawn said, as good as it is, that means you're facing too many shots. I'm curious, how do you feel about 14 saves? Is that too much of workload?
I guess you would have to look at the types of shots that were being taken. I think my defense did a great job giving me shots that were definitely savable. I think in the fourth quarter, overall, we got away from ourselves, myself and the defense in front of me. I think we let up a couple high percentage shots that we didn't let up all game. Not sure if it was fatigue or what exactly it was, but during the first 3 quarters, I mean, I'm gonna give my best, and the other guys in front of me are gonna give their best. So if I'm making saves, they were obviously savable. So I would like to not have any saves and any shots on goal, obviously, in a perfect world.
Right.
That's never gonna happen. If coach thinks 14 is too many, then I agree with him, obviously. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got the win, and they gave me shots that I could save. So I didn't come off my best game against Fairfield. So I hope that gave some more confidence in them from me as well. So just kind of had to show them that I'm still there, and I have their back if they have mine. So it's kind of how it works.
Shawn said that this may have been the team's most consistent effort on defense and offense this season. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I think we just came out ready to go. It was kind of a different atmosphere stepping on the field. You kind of just tell everyone was locked in, ready to go. But yeah, I think it was a very complete game from us.
What was the difference today, like in terms of, like you said, contributing to a complete game today versus maybe in previous games?
I don't know if there's one thing. I think we were just kind of dialed. Everyone was kind of ready to go. Coming off a win, we knew what we needed to do. We knew what our game plan needed to be, and we just followed it.
I wanted to ask you about the offensive performance. It seemed like you guys were patient, and then when you found your chances, you guys really took advantage of them. Was that the formula that you guys were looking to do today?
Yeah, we just didn't want to keep. There was a lot of times in the games we were losing at the start of the year where our defense would end up playing defense for a really long time. Part of our way of helping them out is keeping the ball down for a full shot clock or grinding down their defense. It not only helps our defense catch their breath, but it helps us get in a rhythm and grind down the opposing team's defense. So that was definitely part of the plan, yeah.
Are there times, though, as an offense, you guys would prefer to be kind of that run and gun type of offense?
I mean, it's a little bit more fun when you play like that, but you kind of have to pick and choose your battles there. It's more of an upperclassman thing now that you can kind of see, and playing with James too, he sees it. There's certain moments where we're like, all right, we can push it here. But if we notice our defense is playing on D for a while, or we haven't had a good possession in a while, then we got to settle it down.
How much confidence does a win like this give you guys? I mean, you guys had already beaten Fairfield Saturday, but now that we're string two in a row and get back in contention for a CAA tournament bid.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to build off this, keep going. I think it was great for us. Almost blew it at the end. I was getting a little worried, but no, our defense stood up, and I think everyone stepped up and had a good game. But yeah, I think we're ready to go for the next one.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, do you feel like this was the team's best game of the season?
I feel like I'd say so, probably through the first three and a half quarters. We didn't play a complete game again, which has been a pretty big struggle for us the entire year. I think it was, going into, I guess, until there was 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's when we kind of gave them some life, and they rattled off about four quick goals and kind of put themselves back into the game. But I think leading up into that point, it was definitely our best game of the year.
I think, and Brody mentioned this, like, maybe not Brody, maybe it was Shane, but you've had games where you had a 1 or 2 goal lead in the fourth quarter, and let them slip away. What was different today?
Today, I guess it was just being able to hold off the attack. When they rattled off a few goals, we were able to make some big stops down the stretch, and the offense was able to possess the ball and not give them anything easy coming back in transition or anything like that. So I feel like it also helped today that we had a lot bigger lead than we have in the past. I think it was around 10-4 when they started their run. We scored our 10th goal, and then they went on their run. So I would say just the big lead that we created, and then eventually being able to just get some stops defensively and possess the ball well on offense.
Through the first 3 quarters, defense only gave up 4 goals. What was working for you guys defensively as a unit?
So we liked playing them 10 days ago. We knew kind of their tendencies and where they like to initiate. So that obviously helped a lot. I think communication, everyone was on the same page. We were rotating well. We knew when to support, when not to support. And we were also, I think, did a pretty good job clearing the ball, which helps a lot, not giving them any second chances. I think it was just overall a great performance, and also helped that we have Shane Brennan in the cage. I think he's probably the best goalie in the country when he's on, and I'll stand by that. I think having him, standing tall on there, making a lot of big stops is really, all that together is really what helped us hold them to so few goals.
Garrett, it seemed like you guys really got in the passing lanes, a lot of tip passes that sometimes led turnover, sometimes didn't. But was that the part of the strategy to make sure that you guys clogged up the passing lanes?
Yes, sir, definitely, especially on man up. For them, we were man down a ton this game. Mm-hmm. We knew that they had shooters where their shooters were going to be, and that they'd like to also, as they were kind of dragging across the top, they'd like to look for those skips down to the pipes. That was something we knew, and I think we did a great job of stopping them from giving them those easy looks, giving up skip passes.
Garrett, I wanted to ask you about growing up with the Tierney family. What was that like for you growing up with Ryan and Seth?
It was definitely pretty cool. As a young kid, kind of from when I can remember, I was going to Hopkins games, like going to the Hopkins camps. Then eventually, when Coach Tierney moved on to Hofstra, our families would kind of stay in touch, and we'd visit them, probably try and go for a game at least once a year, get to go in the locker room and see them. So it's definitely pretty cool now that we're all grown up. We're in the same conference, we're conference rivals, and get to play each other every single year.
Was Hofstra one of your considerations when you were choosing a college?
No, it actually wasn't.
No?
No.
Would you have played for Seth if you could?
My mom really wanted me to play for him, actually, yes. So,
Did did you pick Towson knowing that, hey, he's a Hofstra, we're probably going to see each other, at least once a year, maybe twice a year.
that I don't that definitely didn't come up right away in my
Okay.
mind, but it was just kind of another cool thing, kind of being like, me and Ryan grew up playing in the backyard together, and now that we actually get to play against each other in college, it's definitely a really cool experience.
I imagine there were times when you guys squared off against each other today. What's it like? Because I mean, he's someone that you grew up with. He's a family friend, but you're charged with knocking him down, making sure he doesn't get free.
There's really no friends on the field. If someone's on the other team, I'm definitely not going to go easy on him and allow them to get some easy goals. So off the field, we're great friends, but on the field, it doesn't matter who's across from me.
Today, after the game, did you get a chance to say to greet him?
Yep, I got to talk to Ryan and Coach Tierney for a little bit after the game. Yes.
Okay. And can I ask, what was that like to see them and sort of exchange pleasantries with them?
Definitely pretty good. It was kind of a bummer that we missed out playing them the first time. The first game against them got postponed, but we got to see them 10 days ago, and it was just great to play against him, as it could be my last game against him in college. So definitely pretty cool.